Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great week so far. I am pre-filming some content for you. I have time to do filming today. The next couple days I won't have a huge amount of time to do that. So I'm trying to get some content filmed and edited and ready for you guys to watch. So if I look the same in each video, that's why. So what I wanted to film today is I recently asked you guys what content you would be interested in seeing on this channel. And one of those comments had stated they wanted to know what favorite brands I have for nail polishes, what brands I was underwhelmed by, brands that I just didn't care for polishes, all of that stuff. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If you're new, thanks so much for tuning in. I upload videos every single week talking about nail polish and nail polish content. So if you have not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would do that. Just hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell before you leave so you're notified when I upload new videos. So let's start off with the brands that were underwhelming to me. Now, not every single brand that I have in my collection has been tried. I have lots of untried polishes, which I mentioned in my goals for 2023 with my nail polishes. That was one of those goals, was to start using more untried polishes, and I have a lot. So it is hard to kind of narrow it down because some of the brands I have not exclusively actually tried yet. But a brand that I tried after seeing a YouTuber talk about them is Nail Hoot. Now, I don't see many people talking about that brand on YouTube or even on social media. It was a brand that I was interested in. Their polishes are pretty inexpensive. They can be under $9 depending on what type of polish it is. I don't think they're much more than like 10 bucks, if that. So I was intrigued by those. I have made a few purchases from Nail Hoot, but I will say recently I've tried out, I think, 2 to 3 polishes from Nail Hoot. Now, most of those have like a scattered holographic finish to them, but what I thought was going to be a little more hollow was underwhelming. Each polish I've tried that I was expecting to have a decent amount of hollow finish ended up being very underwhelming. And I was kind of like, okay, well, that's not quite what I thought. I loved the base color of the polishes, but there wasn't enough pizzazz in the polish itself to crave that holographic look I was going for. So I ended up having to use a holographic top coat to give myself that holographic finish, if that makes sense. Now, I have a few from this brand that I have not tried, but even upon swatching, they were just kind of like underwhelming. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Now, I have kept each of those polishes, but it's one of those here down the road that I will be revisiting to see, do I really want to keep them, or do I want to, let somebody else have them? Because, if you collect polish, there's gonna be that time where you love polishes, or there's ones that you thought you would like and they're just not your cup of tea. That's just how it's gonna be. It's just, some things somebody else enjoys, where the same polish may not be a cup of tea for somebody else. So that's kind of how I am with Nail Hoot. It was very underwhelming, and I know right now I will not purchase from them again. Like I said, they're inexpensive for what they are. Quality wise, I haven't had any issues. I mean, the quality was very nice, but I don't reach for them. And I found myself the other day when I wanted to do a deep, dark manicure, kind of like, what am I going to pick? And I did go for a Nail Hoot polish, which I'll talk about for like monthly manis. That'll be coming up here next week sometime. But it was one of those, it's kind of like, that's not the polish I thought it was. I love the base color, but it needed more of that holographic goodness to it, which is where the holographic top coat came from. So that's just one of them that I'm kind of like, that's not, my cup of tea. It's kind of been that way with even like some of my Orly polishes. I've had a few where everybody raves about a certain color. I go to try it out and it's just not very good. So that is another one where Orleys are hit and miss too. And you're going to have that with polishes. It's just how things work. It's just like that with just anything really. Some things people enjoy, other things people don't really care for. So the one that I have to say that is, I enjoy it, but do I reach for this one? That would have to be, I have ILNP Designs. That's another one. That brand, the polishes are pretty, but they are underwhelming at the same time. I have quite a bit in my collection that I've just accumulated just because, most of her polishes, when she comes out with collections, she usually does like a half off sale. So I got everything for a lot cheaper than what it generally goes for, which that draws people in, obviously. But I had mentioned it in a recent video where I shared her Halloween collection. There wasn't very many of them that I was like, oh wow, those are really nice. They were underwhelming by themselves. I do have a few I know that I will probably be destashing just because I wasn't wowed by them. They just weren't my cup of tea. So ILNP Designs is another one that I can't say I would be like, yeah, go purchase them. Her polishes are nice, but they're not the quality I expected them to be, if that makes complete sense. So those are the two right now that are ones that I just don't really care for as far as the brand goes. I don't think it's necessarily, I'm not trying to bash the brands at all. It's just the polishes are not my cup of tea. So now for brands that I absolutely love. You guys, if you've been following me, know that I am a diehard Rogue Lacquer fan. Rogue Lacquer is one of my all-time favorites. That is a brand that I just reach for. Now, some of the polishes, the finishes, colors were not my cup of tea, and those will be ones that I go through at some point and probably destash because the colors don't look that great on me because of what they are. That is nothing against Rogue, it's just the color just doesn't look good on me. I ordered a couple polishes. Recently, she did like a clean out for her website because of the new year. I have mystery polishes coming. She had deals going on, so I have more of those coming, but I am kind of on like a low buy right now where I want to use what I have. But Rogue Lacquer is definitely something that I will continue to visit throughout, the year in case there's something that is intriguing. That Cupcake Polish is right up there as well. I have used a few Cupcake Polishes, and you guys, I have not been disappointed by those at all. Again, you will see that coming up in the monthly Manny recap for January. But those polishes, specifically the holographic polishes, those knocked my socks off. If you do not own Cupcake Polish, you need to look into it because her linear hollow polishes will completely blow your mind. Completely blow your mind. They are fantastic, and I can definitely see myself purchasing from them in the future. Definitely. That'll be a brand that I will continue to purchase because they're amazing. They are so good. So good. Another one that is inexpensive, if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend more than $10 a bottle for nail polish, ILNP is another great go-to. They have a really great line of polish. They do vary in price, but I got them during a sale most of the time, and they don't disappoint me. They do tend to have more polishes that are like that jelly squishy formula, which I'm not a fan of jellies, so I don't always reach for those. But her scattered hollow polishes, linear hollow polishes, those are fantastic. They do have a thinner brush on them, so if you like a wider brush, they don't come with a wider brush, so just take note there. The ILNP brushes are a little bit on the thin side, so if that's not something that you prefer, you may want to steer clear of that brand. I don't mind the thin brush on those particular polishes. They work and apply really nicely regardless, but the brand as a whole is definitely one that I recommend. I've not been disappointed by their polishes at all. So I'm trying to think what else I could talk about. So that's it, guys. I hope that this answered your questions. If you haven't tried any of the brands I mentioned that I enjoy, definitely look into them. I will try to list links down below for each of those. KB Shimmer is another brand that actually is pretty good. They are a little on the pricey side, but again, they're indie polishes. I got into KB Shimmers about a year ago and have enjoyed the polishes I've tried. Now, KB Shimmer, for me, the brushes are a little bit finicky for me to use. They fan out quite a lot, and I have to kind of tweak how I apply those polishes, but I have not had any issues with any of them that I've tried. I have mentioned that the KB Shimmer white that's a cream is one of my favorite white polishes that I've actually tried. It is very nicely formulated, opaque in 2 coats, and it wears beautifully. So if you're looking for polishes that have anywhere from creams to magnetics to holographic polishes, shimmer polishes, you name it. They have a whole array of polish finishes for anything that you would be looking for. So that is another brand that I do enjoy. I don't use KB Shimmer near enough, but the holographic polishes I've tried and some of their creams have not disappointed me whatsoever. So that is, I think pretty much everything that I can think of. Bee's Knees Lacquer, I was going to talk about it, but she's not doing new releases anymore. So it's kind of going to be a little difficult to get those polishes, and I haven't tried enough Bee's Knees to necessarily say, hey, I love them. The ones I have tried 3 or 4 from her brand, haven't been disappointed. She does that, she had a polish that came out in Polish Pickup that was a lion with a thorn in its paw. I did not get my hands on that one, but she has been creating siblings and cousins to that particular polish. And just the finishes alone, with the holographic shimmer in it, the shifty shimmer, some of the polishes will shift to like a red to orange or blue to green or purple or pink. They're beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. So I have to say Bee's Knees is probably up there too. They are pricey. They are one of the more expensive brands, which, looking at the amount that I have, that is a little daunting. But I was like, back in November, she was finishing off her final launches, and I thought, if I don't take advantage now, I'm not going to be able to get these polishes. And they were so pretty that I just couldn't say no. So if you have tried a couple Bee's Knees, you'd have to let me know if that's a brand that you enjoy, or if it's a brand that you have been interested in and haven't tried. They have not disappointed me whatsoever. Like with any brand, there's going to be some polishes that you enjoy. Some of them you may not actually, they're not what you thought, and that's definitely how it is for me, for sure. But I think that is everything that I can think of right now off the top of my head. They are, I have lots of brands to try, definitely lots of things to go through. There's several brands I haven't tried, so those won't be mentioned because I haven't tried those yet. The ones I mentioned are definitely my top favorites, and then with the exception of the couple that I just was underwhelmed by as far as a brand goes. They just, weren't my cup of tea. But if you enjoyed, have a great week, and we'll see you later.